Welcome to this first impressions video of the recently released PMDG 777-200ER. In this video I'll go over the 5 main aspects of the product, starting with the external model, then the EFB, PBR, sounds, and finally the price point. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Looking at the external models now, here you can see the GE model, and now the Pratt & Whitney model, and finally the Rolls-Royce model. Looking at the different engine models now, here's the GE one, which I think is the best modeled of all of them. Now the Pratt & Whitney, which I think is the worst modeled of all of them, but I'm not an expert. And finally the Rolls-Royce model, which is pretty well modeled, to be fair. Now, something that really annoys me with the model on this aircraft is the really weird looking nose cones or fan cones, whatever you call them, on the engines. They just look really weird. I mean, look at this. Now, on the flip side of things, there are some really nice details in this model, like you could see here on the tail, and now on the elevators as well. I don't know what they are, but yeah, the gear is really well detailed as well, as you can see, as well as the front gear. So I guess that's a positive from the model. So you're in the cockpit, you look down and there's no EFB. Oh my god, what's gone wrong? Well, don't worry, you come down here to PMDG Setup, Aircraft, Equipment, EFB installed, yes, and there you go. The EFB interface is really simple and doesn't differ too much from the 747 or 787. You can look at the documents where you can read manuals and other documents from PMDG, so we just open a random one here. Now in the Pilot Utilities tab you can do some useful things here. You can also integrate your Navigraph charts, which is quite good if you have a subscription. The video tab here shows you some pretty useless cameras that also have a big impact on frames. And finally the performance tab, you can do your takeoff performance calculations. So we're at Dubai, put in your thrust rating, we're on runway 30 left, flap config, air conditioning's on, anti-ice is off. Runway condition is dry, wind was making these up, 300 at 5, outside air temperature 26, QNH 1013. Then you put in your takeoff weight and your CG, center of gravity, and you hit calculate, which then gives you your V-speeds, cell temp, trim setting, flap setting, which you can then put in your FMC for takeoff. Looking at the PBR now, you can see the sun reflecting on the wing here, which looks very nice. Then coming down to the engine, you'll see it reflecting off the engine as well, and also the runway reflecting on the engine, which is very cool. You can also see it on the back of the aircraft here and the tail. Also you can see the night lighting over here looks very nice indeed. And we come over here and you'll see the beacon actually reflecting off the wing, which is a nice addition. And now we move on to sounds, which is part of the aircraft that I don't think they did quite so well. So we're doing a quick takeoff here, and notice how there's no delay between me pushing the throttle forward and hearing the engine spool up. As we climb out of Dubai here, I'll just summarize the video by talking about the price point and my final thoughts on the product in general. First of all, I don't think the product is worth $78. I think that's just a bit cheeky of PMDG. I think $40 to $50 or something around that would have probably been better, especially considering the 300ER expansion only cost $30. I know PMDG have been working on the 200ER expansion for a long time now, and now that it's finally here, I'll just say hasn't quite lived up to the expectation. PBR is something that should have been added to their 777 products a long time ago, and the EFB is an important addition that also could have been added earlier if you ask me. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for making it all the way here. Subscribe to the channel if you want, dislike the video if you want, like the video if you want, comment if you want, whatever. Bye.